Hey guys, Gary J here. Today I want to talk about the Challenger a little bit and putting louvers on the rear glass. Louvers on the rear glass. People either love or hate louvers, or some are indifferent. But you know, when you look at the front of the Challenger, it's really got a nice design, and you've got that 70s retrograde hood with functional air scoops on this one, and nice grille, great HID headlights, and the spoiler at the bottom, and the fog lights. So it's really catches your eye a lot on the front of the retro design of the Challenger. And looking at the side of the Challenger, looks pretty good too. Especially you get that line that goes up over the rear wheel, which was characteristic of the original Challenger. And on this one we got the Alcoa forged rims, 20-inch rims, and those nice red Brembo brakes with 14-inch rotors, and that's pretty neat. If you look at the back of the car though, now notice that's a gold fuel cap there, and I think it gives it a little bit of a nice touch there instead of the chrome. Nothing wrong with the chrome. Now looking at the back of the Challenger, it looks good with these lights across here, and the exhaust tips look good. I like that kind of design too, and the spoiler on the top of the trunk looks great. But looking at the back glass, it looks like we could add something to it, because the front of the Challenger is so busy looking with all these different things to look at, which is really awesome to me. And so how would that look if you put some louvers on there? Well, I bought a set of louvers, and I'm gonna put them on here just to show you how it looks. And I've never seen anybody yet that had these particular type louvers on the Challenger up close, where you could actually see how the thing really looks, you know, on the Challenger itself. So let's take a look at that. But notice the car without any louvers on the back of it. Looks like you could add something to make it look a tad better. So let's do that now. We'll put the louvers on there. Okay guys, looking at the back of our car again, we see the design here is it's a little plain to me, a little bit. It's nice, but it's a little plain, and this needs something extra, and so we put on our louvers. So take a look at this now, looking at the louvers. And to me, that kind of sets it off a little bit. Now these are called, some people call them Lamborghini type louvers. You really don't see much of a description on the internet about these particular louvers. I've not seen anybody have these on their car up close and see actually how it looks. I didn't think I'd really like it that much, but after putting them on, they look a lot better in person than they do on video here. And I really like these louvers. Most of the louvers I've always had, these blinds here go all the way across, but you got these portal windows here on each side right here, which looks pretty neat to me. And so you get an idea how these things actually look. And there was a lot of design that actually went into this, especially these portal windows here. You know, people say you can't see out the back of a Challenger, which is true. I'm one of these people, I use my side mirrors. I don't even have to use the back glass. The only problem you have backing up a Challenger is knowing how far to go back. Like if you got bushes back there or something you could back into, is knowing exactly how far to go back. So I put a video camera rear view video camera in this one for about $100 is what it cost me for the unit. It's real easy to put in. So this is what these louvers look like from a side view, and they look pretty neat to me. Looks like something you find on a Batmobile, kind of like a Batmobile thing to me. Now I notice you can see out these portals with your rear view mirror if you turn your head the right angle, and you can look out through these blinds right here really well. They do not obstruct your view like you would think. So those are very functional in looking out. And we know on Challenger they've got a brake light up here at the top. I can see the brake light here. I don't know if you can. Right there is the brake light. So you can see the brake light when you hit the brake lights. It'll come through and illuminate. This portal right here. So actually, to me, this really looks good. And one of the great things about it is that I think from 2008 to 2014, maybe 2017, these louvers just drop in and they fit 100% right from the start. So they're real easy to mount. You don't have to use screws or anything like that in the sense of drilling or anything like that. 3M tape. It comes with 3M tape and brackets that you use to mount this to your back windshield. And since it's got brackets that you has 3M tape, these brackets are right here. I'll show them to you in a minute. But they're here and they stick to your windshield, and you've got a little nut right here. You take these nuts off. They have a washer. Make sure you get the washer. Take the nut off, and the washer, take them all off, and you can take this whole thing off. Your brackets are still glued to your windshield. And there's a way to prep your back glass before you put these on, because you don't want that 3M tape coming up later. I'll give you a video to a guy who puts a set of louvers, not these type, but a different type of louvers on I think it's a Mustang, and it really shows you a really nice way of doing that. And so this is just a real simple way of doing it. Just 3M tape is holding this on, and the brackets that are underneath here. But look at that design right here. This really looks, again, to me, kind of like a Batmobile type stuff. So, in person, this looks 5 times better in person to me than it does probably on video. Now, if you use big screen, or if you use the television to watch your videos, you can probably get a lot better view of how nice this really looks. Again, a side view right here. Now, a little bit of a distance right here. And coming around. Like I said, I hadn't found anybody that had these on that really did a video on them or anything like that to show you how well they look. Or because some people just don't like louvers for whatever reason, but I came up in a time where there were louvers on muscle cars, and I had louvers, and they really set off a car. Now some cars they won't help. This particular louver right here, I like it better than the ones that come all the way across. There's just a lot of ingenious design in this one right here to me. This louver cost me $184 with shipping and handling. $184, which included shipping and handling. I ordered it, and I had it within 2 days, believe it or not. 2 days. I'll leave you a link for that. I couldn't believe it came that quick. And Now actually, I don't have these glued on. I'm just setting them up there so that you can see how it's going to look if you decide you want to get some louvers. Now a lot of the louvers are $400, $460, especially if you get aluminum, and so they can be pretty expensive. But $184, $185, to me, for the Challenger, this is the way to go if you like louvers. And you know, I mentioned the front end of the car has everything. Now the back end of the car seems to be more complete. And I tell you what looks really good, like the Challengers that have the stripes that come over the top of the hood and down here. Those stripes run right through here. And that really sets these louvers off too. Those who have the stripes across the trunk and the top of the car. That really matches well. So I hope you get an idea how this looks, and maybe it's something you might want to try. The price is not that bad to try that. And I've sat in the front of the car and looked through the louvers, and you can see really well through these blinds on the louver, and you can see out these portals a little bit too. But I got a backup camera, so the backup camera in the front helps me to back up. The only problem I don't have a problem backing up using my side mirrors. And the problem I have is where to stop at. You know, like a curve right here or something, or bushes, you know, how far do you go back? And that's where my backup camera comes in. And you can buy these backup cameras for $100. And that's it right there. And that one even has lights on it which light up the back. One of the problems that people have with backup cameras, that the challenges that come with backup cameras, is that at nighttime you can't see anything with the backup camera. But this particular type, I'll give you a link to it. It's awesome because it has bright LEDs that light up everything behind you, so you can actually see with your backup camera at night. Very cool. So I'll take these off right here. Now again, when you take the nuts off here, I think there's 10 of them. There's 10 of them. When you take these nuts off, then this right here will come up. Now I don't have it glued on there, so I just set it up here so you can see it. So you could pull your louvers off and clean your back glass, okay, and then you can put them back on. Okay guys, this is looking underneath the louvers. Okay, now one of the things you notice that where we had the nut set right here, this is the plate. This is a metal plate right here. And this metal plate right here comes off, of course, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, this is the metal plate I was talking about, and your louvers are pre-drilled already. They already have the holes drilled in them. So what you're going to do with this steel plate right here, it comes with your 3M tape. And what you do is 3M tape is sticky on both sides. Both sides of this is sticky. So you can peel this off right here and take your plate and stick it on here. That's after you take this covering off of it. Okay. Once you press this down and get it stuck, it's usually stuck pretty good. All right. So now that this is stuck to that, pretend. Then you have this red tape. You peel this off, and that is the other side of the 3M tape, which is super sticky, okay? So all you do is putting this tape on here, and then after you put it on here, you take it and put your stud through the hole Now there's no tape underneath this. All the tape's on top right here. Okay. Just like this. The tape's always here. You don't have tape underneath this, otherwise you couldn't pull that off. And then you take your washer and your little nut here and you screw it on underneath here. And that holds it together. But once you've got all of these put on, with the tape on them, then you get a buddy of yours to help you, and you just set it down on the windshield. You got to put the brackets on first. You got to put the tape on second, and get somebody to help you when you go to put them on the back glass. Because once they stick, they're hard to get off, okay? So, again, you've got the bracket here, it's got the tape on here. Peel the red tape off of that, and on all of them. And this way you've got the correct position. Once you put that louver down, and it's in the right place when you put it down, then your tape's going to stick to the back glass. And then all of these brackets will be lined up perfectly if you put it down right the first time, okay? Not a big deal there. So that's how simple it is to do. Now before you use your tape on your back glass right here, you've got to really clean this back glass good. Now, they say don't use Windex because it does something to the glue and 3M tape. And then I would use soap and water, and I would scrub it real good a couple of times and spray it off. All your brackets are going to be coming probably about, within 2.5 inches on the corners here and down through here. So right through there. So then after you clean this windshield really good, got the wax and stuff off of it, and you've washed it with soap and water, you take alcohol and wipe all this down real good all the way around where your tape's going to be before you put your 3M tape down on these brackets right here. So again, you can see the threads on that stud there, and your nut goes on there, and you got your washer. Put that on the outside. The washer's on the outside. So that's pretty simple, and you've got some rubber padding right here just to keep this from bouncing up and down too. And it has some red tape right here, it's 3M, that you can tape down there. So just a really neat idea, and real simple. No drilling, no screwdriver. You might want a little ratchet head or something like that for those little nuts. They don't need to be tightened very much, just a little bit. Now one thing I did notice, and I'll put the link to the video, that when you put this tape on here and you glue it to, you put your bracket on your car, I would probably have the red side down like that. What they do is they use like a silicone on the outside right here that they put on. It's just a small amount of silicone around the edges of this tape right here, and that just keeps water and anything else from getting underneath your 3M tape later on. So that's kind of the way it works. But again, I'll give you the video link so you can look at exactly how it's done with other types of ABS plastic louvers, and it's just really a simple process to do. Shouldn't take more than 45 minutes or so to put this on. One more look at this louver with the trunk up. There's no problem with the trunk. You can see here you got about a 3-inch gap between the trunk and the louvers. They're not going to hit. Somebody probably wondering about that. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I like that. But again, some people are going to like louvers. Some people don't like louvers. Some of us guys, we like old school, retro school, whatever. You know, that's the nostalgia that we like louvers and other things too. So that's one of the reasons we buy a Challenger, because it looks more or less like the 1970 Challenger, a lot like it, but has so many more things in it than the 70s did. Okay guys, take care. Gary J. Little bonus here. Guys, do you know how to let your windows down in your Challenger with your key fob? Now you may say, well, my key fob doesn't have a function for that. Well, there's a loophole around that for a lot of these key fobs. If you look at your key fob here, you see where it says open your door right here, you press that button there, right? Well, if you want to let your window down, you press this button and like 1, 2, hold. Okay, 1, 2, and hold it down, and your window will come down. If you want it to stop halfway down, let your thumb off of it. If you want it to go all the way down, just keep your thumb on the button and your window will go all the way down. If you stop it halfway when you press the button 1, 2 and hold, and it goes down halfway, and then you want it all the way down, you just press again 1, 2 and hold, and it'll go all the way down. So let's try that and see how it works. 1, 2, hold. Okay, that's a little more than halfway down. If I want it to go down more, I do the same thing again. 1, 2, hold. All the way down. And both windows come down evenly. So, you know, summertime's right here, getting hot, starting to anyway in March. So, you know, you may want to put your windows down that way, and that's all you have to do. Is just press this twice and hold. 1, 2, hold. Don't do 1, 2, 3, hold. Go 1, 2, hold it down, and your windows will come down until you let go. Okay guys, take care, have a great day. Gary J.